In the slums of Waterdeep, where shadows weave and creep, a tale unfolds of heroes bold their destinies to keep. There's a blood hunter framing wrong, seeking to atone, a warlock minor fighter to from darkness he has grown. Adventurers unite in the city's darkest night, with magic, might, and hearts so break, they're ready for the fight. From the alleys to the skies, the legends will arise. In the slums of Waterdeep, our heroes fake the lies. An artificer with metal limbs, crafting wonders grand. A rogue with issues from the past, escaping from the sand. A paladin on a mission, spreading holy light. A ranger feeling nature's call in the urban blight. Adventurers unite in the city's darkest night, with magic, light, and hearts so break, they're ready for the fight. From the alleys to the skies, the legends will arise. In the slums of Waterdeep, our heroes fake the lies. An elemental monk on a quest, mastering the four, with fire, earth, wind, and sea. To balance and restore, together they will stand, a force that none contain. In the streets of Waterdeep, their lacks a name and fame. Adventurers unite in the city's darkest night, with magic, might, and hearts so break, they're ready for the fight. From the alleys to the skies, the legends will arise. In the slums of Waterdeep, our heroes fake the lies. Our heroes fake the lies. So gather round and hear the tale of courage, might, and lore. In Waterdeep's dark alleys that bound forevermore. The journey's just beginning, a story yet to see. In the slums of Waterdeep, they'll find their destiny. They'll find their destiny.
Mysterious posters have been appearing around the slums for the past couple of days, some in better condition than others. The posters seem to make very little sense to you, as many words are missing due to the hazardous slum activities. One thing on the posters is clear. Gold and fame await, the only question is where. Intrigued by this promise, you pay closer attention to the posters. By individually gathering up words and letters from the posters, you all come to the same conclusion. It is a riddle. Through sun and moon may light the sky, when they align, a secret's nigh. Seek the place where shadows meet, a standing stone on silent street. Golden fame for those who boast, the answer lies within the post. Having spent a fair amount of time in the slums, you can only think of one possible place that fits the riddle. But it can't be. The building collapsed on itself years ago, leaving nothing but debris and a singular pillar. With nothing to lose, you decide to head to the location of the collapsed Eclipse post. After further investigation, you spot a cellar door hidden under the debris. As you attempt to move the debris aside, your hand passes right through them, revealing them to be nothing more than illusions. You then notice the numbers 37, 37, 37, and 22 engraved on the cellar door. The exact numbers that were on the posters. You know you must be in the right place. As you open the door, you see a piece of parchment on a wooden table. The parchment reads, "Well done! Come back at midnight on the day of the summer solstice, and tell no one of this, or else."
So we start the campaign on the evening of the summer solstice.
Oh my god.
Of course.
It's not that bad.
You know that you need to go to the Eclipse post. But the question remains, will you go unarmed and without your armor? Or will you go with your armor and retrieve it before? To you, well, those of you that actually have their armor right now, that question does not apply. But for those of you that don't have it, what are you doing?
I keep it.
Do you keep your armor?
Hmm?
Okay.
I don't need it.
You don't need your armor?
We'll fetch.
What's your joke?
I mean, it's
Yep.
my stash.
You already have yours.
It's hidden somewhere.
Your armor is hidden.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go get it.
You're gonna go get it? Okay. Perfect. So you just walk off to your hidden stash, get your armor. Make a d20 roll.
Check.
To see, yeah, for those that retrieve their armor at their super secret stash, please make a flat 20 roll to see if it's actually still there. Or
It's
if
not
someone found it.
19.
19, you find your stash.
Yeah.
4, unfortunately, your stash has been dug up. Do you want to search for it? If so, make your perception check.
I can make a perception check. Highest plus 4.
You do find, I'd say, dirt piles, like in prints, around where you stashed your super secret stash, your armor and your weapons. They are leading south. Do you pursue?
You can.
It's hard to tell, as watches are not a thing that you have, and or clocks. You look at the sun, and it's well set already. I'd
On the
say
summer eclipse, well set.
Solstice.
solstice.
Okay. Solstice.
I think I'd be out of time to make it. So
So you head in without your armor and without your weapons.
I think I will.
So you each, wherever you are in the slums, you each make your way to the eclipse post, as you do not want to miss the mark. Some are closer, some are further away. Let me
On the
just.
map one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the map. Actually, can you have the map? Pull up the map of the slum. Let us refer to the numbers on the wall.
Official, we can't have shit on people.
Le problème, c'est que ça va tomber.
J'attends. C'est quoi? C'est quel casque qu'il faut?
C'est quoi, c'est B1 qu'il faut?
Je pense que c'est ça.
Ouais, B1.
Un armor, c'est
C'est
ça.
Bingo.
B1, B2.
Les deux aussi.
Ben, c'était comme.
C'est B1, C1.
C'est C1 ça. B, A, B, C c'est les colonnes et 1, 2, 3 c'est les.
Ouais, mais t'as B, t'as B2, t'as B1, t'as. Ouais, t'as B1, B2.
Ça va être ça et ça.
Oh, just this one will do.
Ouais, ça va être ça.
Okay. Perfect. So, where are you all positioned currently in the slums? As you know, the eclipse post is right here. On the corner. Basically where the field war ends. Right on the corner right there.
Non, moi c'est juste.
So where would you all be positioned?
Moi c'est ça.
Also, could you add it as a pin marker?
Moi qui.
Les colonnes.
Yep, attends, DM.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Est-ce que tu me placerais où? Puis est-ce qu'il faut que je fasse un survival check pour savoir exactement où c'est le poste?
Yes. For your condition, yeah.
Puis tu me placeras sur la map, moi je sais pas je suis où.
Well, you would probably be like over here,
Ok, je suis
as
à Vanille.
that's kind of like typically where you hang out.
Is that where the cool kids?
That's where the slums hang out.
Toi, t'es à l'extérieur?
Yeah, he's closer to the Doom Cliffs.
Ouais, c'est ça. Ok, je vais faire un survival tracking check.
So,
Il m'a dit A1, B1.
Post.
En fond, à droite.
The post would be like right here.
Non, on va pas, nous on va pas le passer au droit.
Okay, yeah.
We're on the D. End of the D.
Yeah, at the end of the D, at the bottom of the D of the field ward.
J'ai roulé comme un
Il y a des awards.
Almost.
Dis le war, ouais.
Okay. I'd say it would probably take quite a few minutes and quite a few hours for you to actually zigzag your way exactly where you're heading. But I'll get back to you on that. So where would you all be? Where would you all be on the map right now? Knowing that the eclipse post would be over here and that you would have to make your way to it by midnight. Okay.
Pourquoi tu ne l'as pas sur ton
Yeah,
écran?
you could, because I could actually.
C'est combien de kilomètres?
Ça c'est grand comment?
700?
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's
Il y a peut-être
probably.
l'échelle là-bas sur le-
Yeah, check on that
It's
map.
miles.
There's probably a-
On check là, non?
I think it's like a few
Je pense qu'il y a une
miles.
échelle en haut ou en bas là.
Non, non, il est pas là. Mais c'est pas tant grand les rues. C'est grand, mais pas. C'est pas des maisons.
On se regarde des pâtés de maison là.
Yeah, I'd say.
Just
Here.
moi, je dirais ça, c'est un peu. Ouais.
From one end to the other of the slums, it's about 10 kilometers. Like from one extreme point to the other.
C'est 2 heures.
De
Ça
la
arrive.
maison? Ben,
It's
toutes les
a couple of
maisons.
kilometers.
En termes de télé, c'est quand même.
C'est l'eau est ça.
It's from one end to the slums to the other, it's 10 kilometers, give or take. As you don't really have any unit of measurement, but it's definitely 10 kilometers and it takes a few hours to get there, as you do have to zigzag through the streets as to avoid the bandits and
Tu peux
the...
pas être sur la main.
You can go on the main street for sure, and it's probably the safest place to be, but you would probably encounter people, and if you go in the alleys, then you would probably encounter
More people.
worse people, more and worse people.
Le monde se pique dans Main Street, puis les thugs sont dans les
Basically, and as it's not currently like past midnight, like the streets are dangerous for sure, but they're not like extremely deadly if you stick to the main road.
I'm on the main road.
Okay, where?
Mon stash, il était.
Right here.
Mon stash, il était dans ce coin ici.
Sure.
Dans le fond.
Okay,
Fait que
so probably
route à quelque part.
that area as well. Okay.
Moi, probablement que je me suis pointée quand même bien
Probably
avant la nuit. Commencer à regarder s'il y a des gens.
Sure.
Quel genre de gens s'approchent du
Okay,
poste.
sure. So you would probably be like in that general area, like over here.
Ouais.
Okay.
Si j'arrive à me trouver,
Yep.
genre si j'arrive à monter sur un toit pour
Sure.
watcher.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you do manage to find a roof, though it's not full. There's like a bunch of holes in the roof, and like it's super sketch to get up there.
Okay.
But once you're up there, you feel kind of safe, as like there's no people like insane enough to actually climb up on the roof.
Ok.
Go ahead.
How long have I been in the city by then?
Up to this point, like today or total?
Like today, just did I arrive today or no?
I would say no. You did visit the city, and you have been in the city since the last disaster.
Okay.
So it's been a couple months for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Alright. So I would probably also be on the main road, but I'd be pretty close to the location.
Sure. All right. And you were over here.
Yeah, what here I stopped my day work job, whatever was
Okay.
just before to go this one. I will probably check if I see new faces and troublemakers. Because basically what I want to know is if that's just a new gang or something
Sure.
bad in the city. So I will have my club at my
waist?
ceinture and my waist.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do see a couple members that you do recognize just by their general outfits of the Firefang gang.
Okay.
And currently they're not like harassing anyone or doing anything. They're just kind of like chilling, and like they seem like, you know, this gang, and they seem to be like waiting for quote unquote a prey to like walk by, like to like steal them or
It doesn't seem to
or beat
watch
them up or something.
specifically the building or just
Not
watch
specifically
area.
the building. They're just like hanging around in the general area, as they kind of use like That's kind of what they do generally. Like along the main road, like pretty much everywhere in every alley or so. Like there's a couple of them just hanging around, kind of like watching each other's backs. So that's kind of what they're doing right now. Yeah. So I want to know: are you going in before midnight, or are you just hanging out until you think it's about midnight? Or since you've been there for like
Je pense, moi je veux vraiment essayer d'observer quel genre de gens auraient potentiellement décrypté
Dès que
l'énigme,
tu t'es fait voler ta place.
savoir s'il y a des gens qui pourraient me poser problème.
For sure. So you're kind of like waiting last moment to get in. Okay. So you do see. So who's the second closest here? Who's like in that general area? That was you, right?
I'd be around there too.
That would be me.
I was
be
looking.
Yeah, I'm the one that's over here.
Okay, so then you're over there. So then you do see a. Well, actually, describe your character.
You see a slightly older, very fit.
Michel.
Not Michelle. He's in his 50s.
Okay.
50s Michelle.
Around 6 foot tall.
Human?
What seems originally like a human, but as you come closer, it's definitely not. Considering his hair is on fire. You
What?
see and he's wearing martial arts uniform, and he's got a javelin on his back. But other than that, he's carrying pretty much nothing. But he's walking through the streets, pretty much unbothered
Flaming
by
head.
the locals, with completely flaming hair. He's just walking down the street.
I would say
yes,
you
it's
haven't seen. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably do not recognize him depending on how long you've been in the city. You do not recognize him, although none of the nearby locals or the gang seem to be bothering him.
So you've been around the city. You've been around the slums a lot. I would say it's not that often that you see someone with their head on fire. It's pretty rare.
But est-ce que je
So
sais
that
que
that particular like character stands out to you for sure.
Considering
Like
if it's dark
compared to
out,
the other one.
I'm literally lighting up the street.
Oh yeah.
So that
Est-ce que genre mon personnage sait que cette race existe ou je me dis c'est une magie quelconque là?
You know that this race exists.
Okay.
It's just they're kind of rare after like since the war. Like previous wars. Like there's not that many Fire Genasi in the city nowadays. Or at least in the slums, for sure.
Especially not that age.
Especially not that age, for sure.
He's 50 young or old.
He's middle-aged.
So you continue on your way. You reach the eclipse. Are you going?
Is it midnight?
It's hard to tell. Once
No watch.
again, hard to tell. No watch. But you're getting close to to the point.
C'est minuit.
Oui, mais on n'a pas de montre.
Ok, donc c'est la nuit, donc en fait, c'est like, ouais, toi tu es
The
clair.
sun's been
Oh yeah, he's definitely a beacon. Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh no, you
For
should
sure.
see my dude walking through the street.
It's the equivalent of someone walking like with
With a torch.
With a torch, exactly.
But it's on his head.
Yeah. Like
It's
Ghost
outside.
Rider
Like, burns
style.
the house.
His hair
Oh yeah.
is pretty much floating through the air and just moving like fire.
Is it actual fire?
Well, it doesn't burn, but it lights like fire.
So no straw beds.
Stop it, not.
I guess I'll have to figure that one out once you cross paths.
Right.
So yeah, so you get close to the outpost or to the eclipse. You kind of like look around. There's nobody there except you see a couple firefangs like in the area, but they don't seem to like bother you or anything. Do you like attempt to stealth or are you just roaming about?
Just roaming about.
Okay. Make a actually. What's your passive perception?
15.
Where are you trying to hide? On the roof.
Is it perception?
Oui. Clairement.
Make a stealth check.
21.
You see basically no one except the firefangs. All right. I think you were the next one closest, I believe. Yep. And you were heading from that way to there, right? Yep. Perfect. Right. So are you walking down the main street? Main road.
Of course.
Okay, of course, as you would, right?
Of course.
Okay, so you walk down the main street,
If you're perfect.
and the first thing that you see
C'était déjà fait.
is actually like a odd character, an odd person that seems to be holding like a torch in front of their face. for some reason. And as you get closer, you notice. Wait a second, like he's not holding any torches or anything. It's he is the torch. So you keep walking towards him, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you actually make a history check?
14.
You would know of this race. They're not particularly bad or evil, but they're not necessarily on the good side.
They're pretty bright.
They're pretty bright, for sure. As to what comes next, like, are you actively trying to walk towards that human torch, or are you kind of like trying to take the back alleys to get
just
there?
going along my way.
You're just strolling along.
Just walking along.
Perfect. All right. So as you reach the torch, please describe your character.
A young-ish adult with quite long brown hair with quite the receding hairline at the front in black robes with surprisingly nice shoes.
As I see, I just feel
White.
an immense sense of pity. Like, oh,
The
Poor
Jays.
poor dude. Poor hairline.
Walking along his way. J'ai pas la figurine par contre, malheureusement.
It's fine. You keep walking towards the torch.
T'as pas de mini?
Non, j'ai pas ma mini encore.
Does any of you like react to one another? Like, there's just two
Howdy.
people randomly in the street,
Howdy.
and like there's definitely like firefangs around, but they don't seem to bother that guy, which seems pretty odd to you.
Are you here for the eclipse post?
Yeah, I think I am.
As
What's
you
in
say
it for
this, you kind of like have like words popping in your head, like don't mention this to anyone, and then you just
Directly, it's like,
Well, it's
C'est
just
proche pour les entendre parler.
it's just the eclipse post.
probablement.
C'est juste le poteau. On parle du poteau.
It's like, hey, you here for the eclipse post? Sure.
Look at this beautiful standing post of the last remaining post of the building.
Okay, so as you both awkwardly try to small talk and like kind of like camouflage the fact that you're here for a reason, but not trying to like
What
Let's
Mo
speak of
Charisma
it.
looks like.
basically, you're both terribly failing at hiding it. You're obviously here for the eclipse pose, like both of you, but you're not kind of like purely admitting the true reason of it. You're just standing there, and you see them standing there like really awkwardly, like
I mean, it's hard to miss.
they kind of like try to handshake, and then they're like they're kind of like it's super awkward. It's it's the equivalent of like trying to shake their hand and the other one like fist bumps. It's like okay, like it's not working at all, but
You know when you go for the handshake and you're like, what's next?
and then you kind of like finish with a like elbow bump or something. Like, it's super like awkward. It doesn't make sense. We're just like
Do you see the firefangs that are standing around that it's like,
oh yeah, they're definitely.
all cringing on the inside?
At this point, I'd say probably like the Fairfangs that were earlier are just so disappointed by this interaction that they just kind of like walk away like in a different alley. They're like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Passively cleared the area. We made it safe.
Basically, with the low
man.
charisma
The
awkwardness.
local preacher is so awkward.
Basically, at this point, I think you were the next one closest, right? You were like
How far
over
did you
here,
cringe?
correct?
Yeah, from here, yeah.
yeah, so
but
you-
I know about how far it is, so I would,
You would have climbed
Nice.
yourself, right?
yeah, I'd have
Have you
time,
heard of the word
je
of
préparerais
how
certainement
far?
mon trajet pour être sûr d'arriver avec quand même.
I heard it's quite lit.
Few minutes in advance. Okay.
Yes,
So you do make your way, and
exactly.
as you make your way down that street, you see once again that like human torch kind of thing, and like another dude next to him with like his forehead is kind of like reflecting the flame of the head of the other guy.
If you want to hear a discussion that we're having, you can repeat what we just said.
Have you heard the word of my god of flames?
I heard he's quite lit. Yeah. I feel like I'd probably like him.
Yes.
So as you kind of like get closer, you hear like a random discussion about like a god of flames or something, and like, have you heard of flames? And then the guy is literally on fire. You once again have heard of a genasi, but as you get closer, you see these two like really awkward characters just in the middle of the road, kind of like
You like Jack?
trying to like hang out, but they don't really know how. As you get closer, what do you do? Like, are you like completely bypassing the road?
I am not surprised that other people would have figured it out, and I know that sometimes clans or gang or people just recruit new people like this. So I'm not very surprised that people. I'm just gonna check if they are alone, if we have, especially gang members or people try to ambush us on the street. I don't know if this part of it is quite calm. And after a quick check, I mean, I don't fear much people. I am massive. I would probably just approach normally and
So you approach them?
yeah,
Alright.
and I go and say,
Oh, you're approaching me.
yeah.
So as you kind of like discuss the possibility of flame or whatever, you see a figure approaching you that you've never seen before. Please
Dans
describe,
chanson.
yes,
Je sais pas quoi faire dans mon...
please describe your character at this point.
Voilà, ça serait un peu différent dépendamment du moment, mais pour l'instant vous voyez un half orc avec, il manque de gras mais les muscles extrêmement bien dessinés, une tenue typique, assez typique des slums, donc aucune richesse apparente. Ouais, ma figurine n'est pas assez, pour l'instant est un peu trop classe pour le truc, mais bon, admettons. J'ai un gros groupe, vous pouvez la prendre, c'est pas fragile. De quoi? Ouais.
What's that shotgun?
Brent's got shot.
So what are you like currently wearing? Like loose clothes and like.
Prendre une figurine, vas-y.
Ouais,
En attendant.
ouais, c'est ça, ouais, c'est ça. Des vêtements sans aucune marque distinctive. J'ai un club à la ceinture avec quelques fils barbelés. Le club c'est certainement un bout de meuble ou d'un bout de bois sans valeur. Pas d'armure visible, lui assez grand. À la limite avec des perceptions je pourrais donner d'autres détails de son physique, mais sinon c'est pas mal ça. Assez confiant, assez calme, il me regarde droit dans les yeux, et il regarde aussi un peu autour de lui, il se cache pas qu'il regarde un peu où il est dans son élément.
Feel pretty at ease in the current situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
And I would probably just
one.
be behind their shoulder
Another.
to see if there's something happening in the building or...
Sure.
Yes.
so you're kind of like curiously like looking around, but you are used to this like kind of awkward situation meet, and we're definitely expecting it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I won't probably tell my name until I just say to him, if they say hello, I will just
Okay.
back and then just say,
When he gets closer, do you guys react, or are you just still talking about the god?
Oh, we're still talking about stupid shit.
Okay, so you get closer, you hear about the god. Are you like kind of like joining this duel to form like a trio, or are you
well,
kind of like just hanging on the side and like waiting for something to happen?
I'm at the side, I'm like maximum 2 meters away. I'm just,
Okay.
I don't. I'm like kind of part of the group, just waiting for
Kinda
my turn or
sure.
something to happen.
You're just observing
Yeah.
for anything to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so you see that as well. Do you still not react or just observing
No,
from above?
my character kind of
man.
nervous
The
to
half-orc
see so many
just showed
people
up.
right now.
I know.
All right, so
I've known a
the
few
more people that shows up, the
time.
more stressed you become, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I guess you would probably be next. So you once again you do walk closer. Fast forward, you do see a torch. You see like 2 more people, and what's your passive perception?
14.
Perfect. Okay, so you see nothing else. You see like a bunch of not red fangs, but like of fire fangs, like in the street as you come the main road. Like as you come kind of like through the main road, but as you get closer, there's like kind of like less and less, for some reason. And as you get closer, like
It's just too
you
awkward.
can suddenly see more and more into like the street. And you kind of like figure out that as you get closer, like okay, these guys are probably at the exact spot that I have to be like
just
for
waiting
me.
there?
And they're just kind of like awkwardly speaking. One of them is kind of like hanging on the side and like with arms crossed, like what the hell is going on?
Si
Et
je
tu
vois que s'approche, probablement que je regarde aussi, tu sais, je jauge un petit peu aussi. Là.
Yeah, so like he is definitely looking at you. Doesn't seem to be like in a defensive
Threatening.
position or anything like that. He's kind of like just observing. While these two guys are just still like deeply into conversation regarding you have no idea what, but they're kind of like
Way too loud for.
passive aggressively speaking about a flame thingy. So all you get is like glimpses of like flame, and then like they should be, and then that's kind of it. And as you get closer, you try basically. And as you get closer, please describe your character.
Alright, I'm a human, a tall human, 6'3". Very muscular, very, very big, very manly. Oh, that's my character.
Another buff dude just showed up.
Very, very manly. He has a pickaxe, holding one pickaxe above his shoulder, like he's going to fucking the mines or whatever. Gray silver hair, very kind of long, big beard, same color, silver. He has a tattoo on his forehead. It's just like a like zigzags, zigzag. He's wearing like animal armor, animal fur on him. Hide, same thing. And that's basically it. And he has, it's very important, he has a green device on his body that's glowing a lot more than anything else on his body. And that's about it.
Right? Do you interact with him as he kind of like gets closer? You see this figure with like a glowing green device on him, like holding a pickaxe. Like this is not ordinary stuff. Like you're used to like shivs and like shanks and like clubs, but like a pickaxe, that is out of the ordinary for sure.
Okay. Do it look like je sais pas comment dire, un mineur?
A minor? Sure.
Minor, or does he wear any sign of a gang or something I may know?
Except for that glowing symbol, like glowing icon on him, like device, you don't see anything like gang related.
Yeah.
Like immediately, like you don't see anything. He does seem to have like some kind of connection to the mines, though like what he's wearing is probably like mines that are probably colder, or it might just be that like he lives in the slums and he's trying to like, I guess he's like carrying his blanket and his bed with him, like on him. That could also be it. You also wonder why and where he got that height.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will probably watch you working if you go ahead. I'm just starting to imagine that this is like an adventure gathering or something, maybe mercenaries for a mission. I'm just here to see the proposal.
Sure.
So,
As you get closer, do you interact with anyone?
Nope. I
See
keep
these
walking with like pickaxe.
Sure.
Very confident, not scared of anything. I'm very used to the slums. And I just go into a wall, away from them,
Don't mind
put my pickaxe down, and I just wait.
Kind of like opposite of the street?
Yeah,
Kind of like
watching the area.
Okay, so you're like watching two guys, one with a fiery head, and then the other one just talking about like a flame, and they're kind of like debating on who has the brighter flame. Between like a fake entity, or like at least an entity, like an invisible one, and an actual one that has his head on fire. You're kind of like watching the debate, and it's somewhat entertaining for you.
And sometimes you hear comments about like, hey, there's no mines around here. What's the mines over here?
In my head, I'm like, what a bunch of crackheads.
Fair enough.
Les lumières sont allumées, mais il n'y a personne à la maison.
Est-ce que t'en vas?
What's
Did I find the place?
mine?
Yes, you are getting closer. You are getting closer to the place. As you get closer, you kind of like you're zigzagging through the streets, and you know at this time at night.
Alleys.
Yeah, sure. Alleys and streets, sure.
Alley.
Yeah, you're kind of like zigzagging, and you know that this time of night, like it's beginning to be sketch, and you should be like far away up in a tree somewhere because crime is going to happen, and you don't want to be around when it
I
does.
will actively draw stealth.
Sure, roll a stealth check.
Fucking gold.
I haven't been able to stealth in years.
Ça va être un 19.
Is that sure? Perfect. So you kind of like move stealthily like across the alleys and across like the narrow like paths. You are somewhat able to track where you think you need to go, though at some point you lose completely the track, and all you see and here is like two guys like arguing about something, and you can't like perfectly tell what they're saying, but they seem to be like actively like arguing like passive aggressively. They're not hitting each other, they're just it's a weird conversation for sure. And as you get closer you see light, and you see like two more individuals that are just standing there nearby.
Medium to low heat.
Push.
No, for sure. Yeah. You can like hear they're arguing about something. You just can't hear what they're saying. And as you get closer, you see like these two individuals talking, and you see like the shadow of him across the street, like with his pickaxe down, and then you see the other one like with his arms crossed, like just observing.
See him.
Oh yeah, you definitely see those two for sure, but you're like further away that you can't really hear what they're saying, and you're stealth current. Well, at least you think.
I will. First of all, seeing some quite weird individuals in a spirit of fire, I will take the high ground and go up a building.
They're not really buildings.
As you get close, so you are kind of like on this side of the street, and then he comes kind of like from the back end of the street, like across the street, and as he kind of like climbs up, your eyes kind of like lock into one another, and you kind of like lock. You can kind of like lock eyes and automatically like see each other as you thought you were hiding and stealthing. Oh yeah, she's across the street, up there, for sure. So both of you are kind of like up there, just awkwardly staring at each other, while a bunch of like random guys are just talking on the street about like a flame or whatever. And you like, you don't think like anybody else sees you, but you're definitely like maintaining eye contact. It's a staring contest for sure. Yeah. Describe your character, please.
Okay, so
Like cool.
Right?
on the building opposite of you, you see figure. Mostly in the cloak right now, because you probably see my back and I turn around. I'm midway up a wall, like probably on the ledge of a pipe or something. I'm wearing a traditional headdress of some kind. Do you know of the elves?
Please roll a history check.
So, she's the only one seeing
He's not
him,
a human.
we're not.
No, you guys aren't, because both of them are stealth, like on their own kind of way. But like since they're both on top of the roofs, like there's no one else that sees each other except them.
Like,
Skyline sur le reste de la place aussi.
I'd say the skylights are pretty fucked.
I'm not currently having
You're a mask.
I'm not on LSD style.
Yeah, well, one of them is like currently on the street, like the street, and then the other one's kind of the other one. So they're kind of like just maintaining eye contact.
Out of feathers, mostly out of with leathers, some bright gems of color. That from a distance, they don't seem that precious. They're just color. With a bow and a back, arrows.
Very serious looking dude,
And
having a very
just-
serious conversation.
Out of place in a urban situation. You would expect maybe a kind of a hunter or something from the wilds. How do you? First time I see you.
Mais en fait, tu vois, entre guillemets, je dis bien entre guillemets la même chose, où tu vois effectivement juste une silhouette avec des vêtements plutôt amples, plutôt vraiment sombres, banal. Et pareil, la personne a un masque en fait qui lui couvre jusqu'en dessous du nez.
Posté dans une position qui a.
Ouais, c'est ça, vraiment accroupi.
tenir.
Le personnage est en train de regarder en bas, puis d'un coup, comme tu te vois avec les yeux là, tu vois que il met un doigt sur la bouche et sort une arme qui est en fait assez particulière. C'est comme un chakram, mais sauf qu'au bout du chakram, il y a aussi une dague.
Je vais faire un insight sur toi en faisant.
Interrupting whatever they're saying, you just hear orange fire is just better.
At some point, I will probably go to you and say that
White
I don't want to
fire.
bother you,
Un
but
change d'insight.
whatever you
savoir-
do here, you should be. You probably want to be more quiet about it.
Discreet.
and discreet. We are not in a good street, and we're kind of, you know.
I
You know,
just turn towards you, super serious. How discreet do you think I can be?
Honestly, I don't know you. Fuck up. I don't know you, and I don't want any trouble. I'm just saying that you're making a lot of noise in the middle of the night. So, just you know.
As if I'm not lighting up the entire
Chill.
neighborhood.
J'ai
Let's
un
agree
15
to
pour
disagree.
insight.
And agree on the one thing.
Spécifiquement pour tes intentions ici, genre, est-ce que t'as l'air comme ça c'est de. Vu ton weapon, t'es-tu là pour peut-être attaquer quelqu'un, plus de reconnaissance, juste genre. Comme
Ok.
ça.
Moi, ben,
You can roll a deception if you want.
Ouais,
ben c'est ça, je vais te demander en fait ce que je dois rouler pour. En fait, je veux juste pas qu'il parle. C'est pas agressif pour être agressif, c'est genre si tu parles, si tu dis, si tu révèles d'une manière ou d'une autre que je suis là, c'est là que je peux t'envoyer
I'd say
quoi.
roll either a persuasion check or an intimidation check.
Ben, juste,
As you wish.
je te fais ça, moi j'ai fait ça, puis j'ai complètement monté. So,
Bon,
Ok.
ok, il y a quoi?
Yeah, you guys are sending out the same message basically.
Ok, bon bah alors dans ce
You
cas-là.
guys kind of like understand each other without speaking.
Ok, bon bah alors dans ce cas-là, juste je
changes-
range
t'as fait
l'arme.
ça,
Tu changes de position, tu changes de cheminée. Dans le doute.
So he kind of like climbs up a little further up. He's now like kind of like on the roof, a little bit higher than yours. But you guys are both like on top of the roof. Like you can obviously see each other, and for what like from what you know, you are well hidden from the rest, except from one another.
Est-ce que.
Ouais.
Est-ce que genre. Si ça c'est la rue là, principale où ils sont, est-ce qu'elle est là, moi je suis là, puis les autres sont pas là?
Yeah. So basically, like this is the main street. Like you are on this side.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. So you're on one side of the street, and she's on the other side of the street. So there's a street completely separating like each other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're kind of like one side of the street. Yeah.
Les autres sont pas.
Okay.
Fait que là, voyant qu'il n'est pas hostile, j'aimerais essayer, je vais faire un jet, hein,
Sure.
pour lui décrire, je sais pas, un post et avec une éclipse.
Sure.
Il est pas très intelligent.
Make a performance check. This is and you definitely an intelligence check. Definitely.
Une intelligence à lui.
Bien roulé, mais c'est pas bon.
Alors je fais un 8.
Oh God, Ocean Show.
So
Please tell me like he says something out loud or something.
so what you understand from the shitty like hand gestures that she's doing.
Est-ce que genre je suis loin en esti, qu'est-ce qu'elle voulait dire?
J'ai fait 8, il a eu 9.
Non mais c'est quoi que t'as fait dire?
both of you are
dire,
fucking
on va
as shit.
leur dire que moi je comprends.
Oui, donc j'ai redit.
She's trying to like mimic the eclipse post, like using her hands. You have no idea what that is.
C'est quoi que t'as fait?
J'ai fait un.
Soleil.
J'ai fait.
For all you know, she's dancing. You're just like scratching your chin.
Dawn tomorrow, we shall rise.
Là, je peux pas faire.
Je parle pas fort à ma main, vous êtes genre.
Do we hear this though?
You kind of like whisper yourself, or
No,
are you
it's
like?
like a quiet whisper, genre. vraiment pas fort à
Clairement, on
distance.
entend ça.
He's got
No, you guys are
voice.
speaking way too loud for this.
Ok, ouais, mais
No
moi,
inside
je
voice.
je vais parler
Yes, very rare. No inside voice.
comme les chiens. C'est ça.
So, like, you're kind of like trying to gesture something, and he looks at you, and like, from what you gather, he's fucking clueless. He has no idea what you're talking about, and like, for all you know, like, he thinks you're dancing.
I will.
That's pretty much all it is right
use
now.
my traditional tribal language to symbols to do.
So you're kind of like using hand gestures to communicate with you, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, you have no clue at all. He's basically using sign language, but like traditional sign language. So like, unless you're from his tribe, you have no clue at all what he's trying to say. No clue at all. So you're kind of like, both of you are like kind of like awkwardly staring at each other and kind of like doing hand gestures, like kind of like dancing at this point. Like, and then you see, yeah, both of them are like on the roof, and then so like,
Because we're being so loud that no one else is noticing.
so all it is right now, like in the neighborhood, is just like a really bunch of awkward individuals just looking at each other, having a really weird conversation, like dancing on roofs. Meanwhile, you kind of like walk down the street. Are you actively trying to find the post, or do you know exactly where it is?
I know where it is.
Okay, so you kind of like walk down the street. Are you like looking up in the air, or just like tunnel visioning towards the post?
Going straight to the post.
Going straight to the post. No clue what you're doing.
I'm just maybe in a bit of a hurry.
Yeah, probably.
Because, and stressed.
You're running late.
Dude,
Or close to
late,
being late.
and
Yeah.
I lost my stuff. All my stuff. I'm almost naked.
What's this guy doing? Did he get robbed or something?
So as you get closer,
Oui, j'avoue.
As you get closer to the individual in the street, once again, you see two guys speaking about like flame. You see a guy sitting on his ass with a pickaxe between his legs. Another one like with his arms crossed, like yeah, edgelord style. No, that's him. Yeah, you see the guy with the pig, and then like it's kind of like a regroupment of individuals like in the streets, and you know, like usually when this happens, like bad shit is about to go down. Like probably like somebody's getting murdered for sure. At least if there's if there's 4 individuals in the street. And like no one's around, they're definitely planning something, probably a kill or to like rob a shop.
They don't look to be affiliated with one another, right? Like
Well,
the
two of
minor
them-
guy's standing aside.
Yeah, the minor guy's standing aside, he's just standing on like his own, and then you see these two are actively talking. So you could probably assume that these two at least know each other as they're kind of like having a heated argument. It seems like random, but they're definitely having an argument for sure. Yeah. So please describe your character as you walk by, or walk towards them.
Oui, là, bah, il est à côté au mur. Mais moi aussi, je prends un point.
Oui, non, mais il avait mis sur le mur.
Sure.
The best way to describe it is a washed-up merchant. Okay, fine clothes-ish, but definitely unwashed for many days. Just walking by, arms behind his back. He's got a fancy little mustache. Okay. Under his glasses, he's got sharp blue eyes. No, ça c'est blue. Yes, pants.
C'est pas toi,
Definitely looked like he rushed over a bit. He looks like he ran across the whole town. And yeah, you see an air of maybe wisdom, a smart glint in his eye. Definitely someone who's seen better days. And I think that's about it.
Like someone, one of my dudes.
Do I see him?
Long clothes.
Okay, so you're currently wearing long clothes and okay,
What?
perfect. Yeah, you obviously see him. He's not hiding. He's just walking in the middle of the street, and there's a torch next to you. So like, it's impossible not to see him, and he's not actively stealthing. So yeah, both of you like are actually like you both see him kind of like at the same time, and then eventually you guys see him. Like, there's another guy joining the party, I guess.
Wandering,
Yeah, just one.
slowing down his steps as he gets closer to it as well.
Là, s'il regarde encore, il commence vraiment des signes de nervosité de voir autant de monde. Là, ça...
Moi c'est sûr que je veux dire, je suis pas très intelligent et j'avais trouvé. C'est quoi qu'on attend d'ici. Whatever we were watching here is not very. I mean, it wasn't very hard to find. So just see what happens.
So you kind of like nonchalantly, like just hanging out.
Yeah, a little bit. Just
brooding, basically. Okay.
I want to lock eyes with him. With the no.
Yeah, sure.
And then just like.
You kind of like head gesturing, and then you're kind of like answering
get
back
closer.
with sure. Okay. So
Gotta
you're
get
kind of
closer.
getting close to the guy sitting down,
value.
right? Sure. Okay.
J'aimerais savoir, est-ce qu'ils ont l'air de se connaître? Parce que moi je cherche s'il y a des gangs ou des trucs comme ça. J'ai fini par comprendre que les deux là se connaissaient pas vraiment. En écoutant un petit peu. Mais là, eux deux, ils ont l'air de se connaître. De. Bon,
Okay. Are you kind of like trying to hide the head gestures or not?
I did this,
Yeah.
and I went away into an alley further,
Okay.
out of sight.
So you do see kind of like both of them gathering closer and then walking towards like a darker alley. Like
Okay.
just both of them, as though like they were kind of like waiting for each other.
Et lui non plus, je l'ai pas l'air d'avoir jamais vu non plus. Il a pas un physique.
I'd say no.
Probably.
From what you see right now, like there's nothing that you've probably noticed or like seen before. Like there's nothing like standing out on him.
Okay.
For sure.
Definitely looks unarmed.
Yeah, he has nothing.
Il m'a caché.
He got his clothes.
Ok, c'est que je.
Yeah,
J'ai
he's got nothing.
l'air de me demander ce que je fais.
I'm more.
Yeah, like out of all the people that are here right now, he definitely looks
Harmless.
like he's the most coolest guy ever, and like he does not belong here for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's no reason for him to be here for sure.
Yeah, but it's still going to the one guy who seems to have stuff.
Oh, yeah, for
fancy
sure.
Stuff. So
For sure, but he does seem like the guy that is also just like kind of like wondering about and like wondering like what the hell is going on. Like he seems a little bit clueless, but also like why doesn't he have any weapons? Like
Yeah.
you know the slums at night are pretty dark and pretty.
even I have some.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone at least has something, and he's just there with nothing.
Is it
Yeah.
confidence?
Or is it like sheer dumbness, right? So you both kind of like go into the alley.
Yeah, I go to the alley. Like, maybe there's a corner.
Yeah,
around.
for sure. Yeah.
I go in the corner and I wait for him
Okay.
as he comes by.
Like these two guys.
I pull him. I pull him.
Ouais, fais-le, tu veux. Là, il y a un couloir. Enfin, c'est
Yeah, that one.
discret ou bien ça peut être.
I think that one does.
Yeah.
I wonder what these
So
guys
as you kind of like walk like towards the guy that with the pickaxe, he like shoves you into the wall, and then
Like, what the fuck are you here? Why?
This seems like a very unlikely.
We're good.
Thorne, this looks like a very unlikely combination of people. Who's the guy with the fiery head? What the fuck is going on? 37?
Yeah,
30, okay.
Wait, you fucking know that? Why?
We aren't supposed to speak about it, but I will just assume, like you said, nothing.
Do I pick this up what they're saying with my 15% passive perception?
are you like whispering it, or you?
Yeah, whispering.
Okay.
Because we noticed them walking through the alleyway, but
I'd say.
we were across the street from them.
I'd say you like.
Are we under one of their buildings, maybe?
Oh yeah, you're definitely under that one. That one here. So you would probably hear it.
I am definitely.
Since they're across the street, you probably wouldn't have heard it like immediately, but you probably like got a glimpse of they're like interacting with one another. So you know they're there.
If you ask, si tu le dis verbalement, ils sont passés où? Probablement que. I'll probably say.
No, we probably saw them actually go in.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah,
right
definitely.
there.
Like they're not hiding.
We don't know exactly what they're saying, but we know they're talking.
You're not tunnel visioning like talking.
Yeah,
You're aware of your surroundings as you
Our
should
youth
in the
aren't-
slums.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We're not
of course.
idiots.
Yeah, no, exactly.
My dude is just overly stiff, and well, his dude is just talking weird.
Sure.
So I'm responding.
Like that man on the rooftop, I was going to over the ledge,
Also-
actively listening to the conversation.
I just yeah.
So what you catch of the conversation is you do hear. I think you mentioned Thorne, right?
Yeah, Thorne.
So
This seems like a very unlikely
so you-
combination of people.
So you do hear Thorne regarding him, and then you kind of like aren't able to decipher exactly the rest of what they're saying, but they're like talking like where like you know that they're definitely for sure that guy just peeking over the ledge. Yeah, you know that they're talking about the eclipse post for sure. And like at this point, I think you figured out that kind of like everyone that's here is probably here for the post as well.
I'm also gonna say, where the fuck is your stuff?
My cache was unfortunately empty. And as I was running short on time, I had no choice but to make my way over.
I always told you your hiding spots were ass.
C'est un addon parce que je voulais les cacher dans la chambre de quelqu'un que je connaissais, mais là, c'est trop garoché, fait que finalement j'ai pas
Alright. As you keep kind of like watching what they're doing, do you guys stay in the alley?
I'm just gonna say,
We should go present ourselves over.
go back home, Victor.
You do catch go back home, Victor. And your cash is ass. That you definitely got.
Right.
His cash is ass.
I'm basically naked.
Like his hiding spot is ass.
Naked.
Yeah, so you guys like standing in the alley or
I say, go back home, Victor. I push him away a bit and I just walk back.
After midnight, I have nothing. I'm gonna have to stick this through.
Okay, when he says that, I'm gonna take out one of my hand axes. I shove it on, I pass him. Like this.
I wish to stick through this. Take my axe.
Nicer than we usually see around here.
Thank you.
La conversation à ce point-là.
I insist.
I will continue my tracking
On the Batman house.
okay, so you're on the roof though.
physical evidence or
Okay, from the roof, it's pretty hard to track anything. Make an active like investigation check. Yeah.
Investigation,
Be proficient.
Pour savoir si je reconnais l'un d'eux, si je peux imaginer qu'avec leur tenue quoi, ça serait comme
It's like a movie.
I'd say just from your general history, you don't recognize any of them. Like maybe you've seen them like in the slums, like you probably crossed paths like with them, but like you haven't interacted with any of them for sure. No, for sure.
So I rolled a 10.
And they seem like pretty shady people as well, so like there's no real reason for you to have interacted with them. So yeah.
interact with nobody.
No, exactly. Kind of like trying to keep low profile.
How shady are we?
I have to become one with my
If I
bro.
find any tracks, I rolled a 10.
Not bad.
Bah, 14 moins 4.
C'est pour ça que je dis pas mal.
It's actually not bad. Alright, 14 minus 4, okay. I'd say you probably, like on the current roof that you are on, you, it's kind of like a half broken down roof and like made of shingles. And you see like there's a single feather like stuck between like the shingles like on top of the roof, like on the like the little peak there.
Okay. Since this is the last where my tracking has led me here, and I found physical evidence, I will take a chance.
Now we all here.
Instantly, you guys all look up towards him. Instantly.
The bird
I hide behind a chimney or I don't know.
You definitely can use this distraction to hide furthermore. Obviously, yeah. No, you auto succeed. Like the sound's coming from there, and you're like over there. There's no way they're looking there. Like they're all look up towards him like instantly.
I'll
Mark,
make
there's no birds around here.
I'll make an active bird call.
I've never
and,
seen a bird around here.
Perception to
hunt them
when you
with
know
food.
if there is
There's no birds left.
birds, I guess.
Okay, so as you kind of like all look up, you see this like shady figure with like a traditional dress of some kind, as though like he came back from like a party, like a costume party or whatever, and he like makes a bird call with his hands, and then next thing you know, he kind of like turns around and then does this with his hands, and like he's trying to like actively listen to something, like to the noise that he just made, like almost like he's waiting for a response back.
Great, another crackhead.
You just hear our conversation completely interrupt, and we both turn. It's like,
Birds.
is he for real?
And as you see his face, you like just the sheer look. Oh yeah, no, for sure. But like you kind of like see his eyes, and just by looking at his eyes, you know he's probably a crackhead.
Like,
He looks.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he looks like he's had too many rocks on his head.
I've met people like him before.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
But,
No.
it's hard to hide because I have probably the biggest bow you've ever seen.
Great tragedy.
Look at that bow on that person. It's probably bigger than that. It is biggest one. And I will make a perception to try to possibly hear any noise.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Bon, par réflexe, j'essaie certainement d'attraper mon club et puis quand je vois ça, je me remets comme ça, puis je me mets à checker les toits du coup en mode putain,
I've met
c'est
people
distrait, j'ai même pas regardé les
far
toits là.
alongside them.
Ça, il est comme
Pretty useful to
You
have.
obviously see him.
They don't stop going forward.
Yeah, I've met people.
To like the what for like
To
to see.
hear any response
They don't want to hear
from a bird. That I would, I know my birds. It's pas vision
And then you push in that direction, it doesn't stop.
I'd say like how loud did you do the bird sound? Like was it like a little discreet sound, like knowing that your bird would probably hear it like without making like too much noise, or did you like elephant noise?
No, it's less of a. C'est moi je regarde en faire pour le vrai.
No, that's fine.
Chasse, là, mais it's not like a mating call,
I can
but
get the
it's
rooster
an
sound.
actual practice call.
Sure. So it's like rather low, like
Yeah.
okay, sure.
But it's
not that
I know
loud,
it's- my tracking led me to the general region. I found physical evidence, so I won't make it like. I don't want people at kilometers away to hear. It's general area, and probably maybe go through buildings if possible. Like watch out of a mur, if like
Yeah,
there's a
so-
window or something.
So unfortunately, you don't hear a response to your bird call, but you do see everyone that was on the ground looking at you, for sure.
What is that?
They're kind of like all staring up at you, and you see that one guy with the club, and he instantly grabs his club, and like he's about like he's searching for you, then he spots you, and then he kind of put the club kind of like.
By the flame, what was that?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Donc vous êtes toujours pas dans notre groupe, vous êtes en face là ou...
Non, oui.
On en connaît, ouais.
Well, that breaks the silence. When we were obviously talking for the past 50 minutes.
How close is the fire elemental?
Across the street.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like across the street from you.
I will look at
Where's
you.
your mini?
Spirit of fire and brimstone, have you seen the spirit of air and wind?
Tu parles de travers le toit quand même, d'en haut, donc ça avait quand même... tout le monde t'entend bien.
He can't be serious right now.
Oh yeah, he's definitely like he's not yelling, but he's not whispering either.
Ouais.
He's
He can't be serious.
What's with this guy?
at this point, you like as they're kind of like all distracted, you know that the time like to enter is probably coming up real soon.
Spirit of fire.
Ouais, moi, mon but, c'est plutôt de passer derrière eux, mais
I do have
je vois qu'ils sont très
notes.
occupés.
Quite fine.
Mais,
Spirits of air. I
Ça,
don't know
ça
if
me
it's one
panique
you're
devant
talking
moi,
about
donc je
though.
vais essayer de sneak
An idiot.
et de m'approcher du poteau et de le toucher peut-être.
You do
My dude is trying to stay
you're
serious.
able to actually
No.
touch the post. So like
He's struggling very hard.
the post is like over here, and this is kind of like a collapsed building. And you did go in there before, and there was a note. So you do know that it's kind of like an illusion to go in. So you kind of like try to feel around, try to like sense where the trap door is, like the cellar door. And as soon as you grab it, actually, well, you're kind of like going over here, right? So you probably like at this point, like they would see you. Like you're not hiding anymore because he's emitting light.
Approcher un peu plus du ledge.
He's also quite perspective and perceptive.
So are you just
No.
kind of like waiting still?
Ouais.
Okay, you're still waiting over
Je
there.
suis en bas dans la rue,
Okay, so
mais
you're like over here. Okay, you're kind of like still hiding. There's
trouver une caisse ou quoi.
yeah, sure. There's like
Selon que
Are you kidding me?
mon personnage s'impatienterait. Si c'est censé être l'heure,
I'm
probablement que
I'm
moi
always
j'irais.
Yeah.
I would probably.
Fair enough.
I know that I just see that nobody knows
Probably
what they're
fine.
doing here.
No, they're
so-
obviously doing whatever. Yeah.
I think
so
it's
I just
probably
go,
fine.
yeah. Tu dis c'est quoi ça?
It's a collapsed building.
Ouais.
People
Tu sais quoi? Un collapsed building?
Oui, oui.
Ok, c'est bon.
We should probably
Je me
go.
demande si je pourrais être un personnage comme.
Comme il dit, on est venu, on a vu tous les
Ouais,
illusions.
tu dis
Yeah, you've already checked out this place. Like, you know this place is the spot. And as you've already entered the cellar once, once you did enter the cellar, there was a note that said to come back here today at midnight.
Thank you for
To get to know whoever.
I probably start to be going there
Sure.
just to recheck if something changed, and especially
Never
if
forget this conversation.
my action is making someone nervous, or if they are just taking me
Sure.
doing something.
So you're
or-
kind of like fetching for a reaction here.
yeah,
Okay, sure.
exactly.
So he kind of, are you like with your club out or no?
It's
It's
very
kinda-
easy. It's kind of easy for me to grab it.
So it's still like kind of hanging on your waist?
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
As you do that, he probably just hears us saying it's probably time, right? I feel like it's late enough.
Yeah, I think so. If I give her, I think so. I don't know. Do you know what we're waiting for? I don't.
I guess time. It seems late enough. I'd probably go inside.
Sure.
Time seems right.
Do you follow?
Yep.
Yes.
And does the bird caller follow?
The bird collar.
Does the bird caller follow?
I asked him like a response to his. He said he knew many spirits of air and wind. I said when he inhabited the form of a bird of prey, he said no.
I try not to laugh. I'm trying to take it seriously.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
100% serious. So most of them enter a building. Does this building have any windows?
Oh no, it's a
It's a
collapsed building.
It's very collapsed.
And there's kind of like an illusion. Well, actually, you don't see the illusion like right away because you haven't been in there at all yet. You see them. Well, actually, are you the one opening the door first?
Probably.
Okay.
If I open the door, I probably have my hand
Your club out?
on the top.
Okay, sure. So you see this guy, he opens, like, he passes his hand through, like, debris and through, like, ash and, like, debris and, like, fallen, like, collapsed pillars and stuff. And he kind of, like, reaches in and you kind of, like, no longer see his, like, his wrist down, like, to his fingers. And he just opens, like, something. Like, he does the motion of opening something. And are you walking in? Like, there's, like, steps walking in. You've already been here before.
Yeah.
So you just see him walk in and then vanish.
I have final check.
Okay.
Maybe two rounds with them. Just say it's time, and I'm going.
Okay. So you just see him vanish into it. Are you keeping the cellar door open or are you shutting it back?
Probably open.
Yeah, we're following you.
Okay, so you-
following.
So as you're basically watching them, like Harry Potter style, like platform 9 and 3/4, just one at a time, just going through like an illusion and like going through debris and wall, and you're super confused at this point. But you do manage to figure out that, well, obviously, like there's no debris there. It has to be like a way, like to go in, right? Like logically, it makes no sense for them to just disappear.
Logically.
Logically, yeah. But you do lack.
Actual sources of power.
Est-ce que là, il y a plus de bruit dehors et tout le monde est dedans? Ok,
je
bon,
sais
lui,
que
comme je
je
sais qu'il m'a vu, ben,
Yeah.
je suis les autres discrètement.
I found a possible clue, so I descend the building.
Okay, so as you descend the building, and as you see the mysterious figure across the street with the mask, kind of like slowly walk towards the eclipse post where everyone else vanished. You guys inside, there's like just this one table inside, and this time there's no parchment on it. You do see like a bird just flap out of there, like from under the table, and kind of like yeet out of the cellar.
Okay. Moi je me baisse et je le laisse passer.
Okay. Are you letting him pass, or are you smacking that bird?
No, we're
Smacking the bird? Okay.
Am I
I
gonna
guess.
sing a little bit as it passes over my head?
Non, je suis un dernier.
Passing through the
Je suis un
flames.
dernier, je suis en arrière.
Tous les rôtis.
Sure.
Je sors le pécan qui essaie de smash votre number.
So I'd say since it's a reaction, I'd say roll with disadvantage, and you're kind of like in a tight cellar.
And he's very big.
Not one, not 20.
Balance is all it should be.
C'est le mur.
Because he's like in a cellar and like it's a reaction. So you kind of like swing and then you kind of like hit the cellar wall and like kind of like vibrates in your arm and then you're like, fuck, I missed it. Like free food, right? And you completely missed it. The rest of you dodged it, and as you kind of like are making your way in, there's a bird that just zooms past your face, like completely zooms past and like kind of like skyrockets right up afterwards.
Out of the.
Si je vois que c'est un oiseau, juste.
Okay, you kind of
What's wrong?
you're kind of just stunned because there's an illusion, and as you try to go through the illusion, the bird pops out. So it's like you're kind of like stunned for a second, and then you realize, oh, it must just be a bird like a back right? And then you completely see the bird out. Are you going in?
Gives time to right
Okay,
now.
so you go in the cellar.
It's time
You see the others there. There's that table again with all the parchment. And what do you do?
Shit.
Je lève mon bras là.
And it kind of like spirals, and then it kind of like lands on your forearm.
Personne ne voit ce mouvement cool. Je suis tout seul.
C'est un super-héros, mais.
You're currently still on the roof.
Non, j'ai senti.
Okay, you can now. Sure.
J'entends juste le. Bird.
What are you doing at this point? You just saw 6 people go through debris.
Why were you?
And disappear.
The ones that took you. I head towards the illusion place.
Sure.
He's walking towards the place. I'm
Trying to be stealthy, but it's like he's tiptoeing around.
Oh, yeah, sure. And the bird is kind of like just wobbling on his hands. On his arm. Yeah, exactly. Basically, yeah. Yeah, like you're used to having like the claws of the bird just like sink into you, but like since you're walking like this, kind of like trying to avoid the debris, like it's a little painful, but you're not taking any damage. Like you're used to it, and
My left arm has a brace for the bird.
Okay, but you see like the bird is actively like trying to hold on for dear life, and it definitely misses you for sure. Like you've been quite some time without it. So as you kind of like gather around in this dimly lit,
I don't know how dimly lit
actually
it is.
it's not dimly anymore. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
It's pretty lit.
just searching for the table or something, the parchment, or
Yes.
places where the whole was just before. I just say it's kind of handy to have this like.
Effectively, it's what's the name? The equivalent of the cantrip. It's
Secret
Fairy
flame.
light.
produce flame.
Produce
So
flame.
10 feet clear, 10 feet dim. So if it's near me,
Holy shit.
J'aimerais éventuellement, vu que je suis derrière eux puis qu'ils m'ont peut-être pas encore vu, genre faire une espèce de performance, c'est genre en 2-3 respirations, ça fait me calmer. Puis faire
10.
Hi everyone. C'est genre comme si j'étais confidente en.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Ce serait quoi performance? Donc ça fait 22.
So your performance is very believable, and like as you say, like hi everyone, it goes like with it goes through with a lot of confidence, and it, like the stress that you sensed earlier, like it does not show at all. Like you are god tier confident right now, for sure.
Seems there was another one with us.
Actually, say that. I love them.
Bah ouais, j'ai dit déjà lui tout à l'heure.
A welcome surprise.
So as you say that, he turns around and says,
I pick up my pickaxe and like.
Ah, si tu prends ta pickaxe, moi là pareil, je sors ma. Je
Non,
sors
mais
direct
ma pickaxe, c'est dans le mur, genre.
Ouais, c'est ça, il est pris dans le mur.
Ok,
ça fait
bah, tu vois les yeux, genre super truc,
Genre,
puis je sors
paranoid eyes.
direct.
Hello. You here for the thing?
Hello, c'est dur de faire un podcast.
Oh, hello. I'm assuming you're here for the hosting.
Just like you.
Say
Fair enough.
37.
37.
Legend 37.
and like that one confidence like hello there kind of like voice instantly like lost all of its credibility as soon as you saw her eyes or his eyes. So as soon as you saw his eyes, like instantly, like it was just like a facade. Like it was worth nothing.
Wait, 2 weapons out, troublemakers. Right.
Basically, and you guys are like super crowded. Like the cellar is probably like, this big. Like you are like around this big table. There's no like actually. Do you have like a table image or something?
Is there anything in this place? Like,
There is a wooden table covered in ash and dust. As you kind of like look around, trying to like see, are there like any clues or anything? You hear the cellar door like bam, instantly closes, kind of like vibrating, and then as you turn around at the end of the table, like where there was nobody like standing there, you just instantly like see a dark figure like apparate.
Is he that dark?
Well, like I guess a figure wearing darker clothes then. Fair.
The figure is dark.
And then you turn around like after like hearing the cellar door close, and you see him.
Hello there.
Because it's like the room is lit like it is right now. It's like we can see.
Oh yeah, for
Farther
sure.
parts are more dim, but
For sure, but he just like instantly apparates like in front of you guys. Hello there.
The room is on fire.
General.
Hello there. I am Aranor. Thank you for coming. And his eyes kind of like gleam with like a calculated like intensity as he kind of like lays out terms for you guys. He goes, I have a very special item that I need you to gather for me. That is why you are here. It is an old family heirloom and has been for many generations now. I need you to gather it before a rival gang gathers it.
Gang wars?
Something like that.
Those ones.
My family has protected it for generations now. But I fear they are on the brink of getting it. And this item in particular is an item that can completely change the city and the slums forever. For the worse, in the wrong hands. I promise riches way beyond what you currently have in exchange for this item.
Two silver?
I'm talking about gold.
Much more.
Much more. Something that could change your lives forever. Something that could get you out of the slums. Maybe not forever. At least not at first. But at least give you a chance.
which gang are we gonna be opposed to?
They are a gang that wield fire like I've never seen before. They are the Fire Fang.
Fire quoi?
Fire Fang.
Fire fan?
C'est ça.
Fire Fang.
Fang, ok.
Fang.
Dont les deux qui
Yeah, and like as soon as he says that, like you've seen the gang and you know what they have done in the slums, like the chaos that they have brought.
What gang are you from? Supposedly what family?
That is not your concern. I pay good gold.
Do I know their leader?
Of the Fire Fang gang?
Yes. Do you know them enough to know their leader?
Roll a history check.
Nope. Really?
You have your answer. Here you go.
Excuse-moi, c'est quoi la question?
S'il savait comme le chef de la gang.
C'est
I'm like,
And what about
are we in competition? Are we in competition here?
Yes and no. You will need to retrieve this artifact, this family heirloom, rather sooner than later. And if they get it, you cannot get the gold.
And where are we supposed to bring it back?
That is a good question. But where you're supposed to bring it back is to me, of course.
History. We should find you here.
I will contact you, but before you can gather it, you will need to grab a concoction from an old family recipe. And then he kind of like just whips out a map, like from his belt, and then just slaps it on the table. There's this map, like just laying it out in front of you, of the slums. This map will lead you to your first trial.
You expect us, who we don't know who we are? Did you choose us? How did you find us?
Why that riddle?
Because I wanted to have the finest of the slums. and then he kind of like looks around, and then like, it's not too bad until like he stumbles upon the like lock size with him.
What riddle?
I'm here for fun.
You know what? You're here, and that is what it counts. Hidden within the depths of Waterdeep slums lies a place of secrets and shadows, known only to those who dare to seek it. And then he gestures like a series like on the map. He like the series, a symbol like etched upon the map. Follow the clues, and it will lead you to the heart of the matter. And then he follows up, and then he kind of like taps the map twice, and you see the map of the slums. It's kind of like shifting, almost as though like there's kind of like a current going through it, and there's kind of like buildings on the outside of the slums, kind of like are vanishing, like kind of like really slowly. And then he says, "Trust no one, for this world, betrayal lurks around every corner. But if you prove yourselves worthy, the rewards will be beyond measures." And then, as soon as he says that, he just vanishes.
With the map or no?
No, he leaves the map there.
Well,
But as you kind of like look at the map, the buildings are kind of like they're kind of like vanishing, and then you see like the main streets kind of like fading out into the parchment. You want to say something?
well, that wasn't suspicious at all.
How this guy could have lost his family heirloom.
And have so much money and finding no people but us trying to take it.
I need the money, but this seems like a lot. Kind of weird too.
Are you
Probably
guys,
have to investigate.
are you guys mercenaries also? Because I am not.
I've spent a couple years as a mercenary. You could say I've retired.
You say you're from the slum too? I'm sorry.
I have not been in the city in a very long time. I've been busy fighting a lot.
Are you use kind of contract like this? Or you?
Maybe we could start with our names.
My name is Professor Victor Aldridge. I need the money.
Yeah, you seem so.
You can call me Pyre.
Hiya.
SmallJohn, good man.
Small.
Small good man.
You're a local creature.
T'as des signes religieux, quelque chose sur ça? Rien de...
Ah oui, c'est un grosse robe de missionnaire noir.
Avec une grosse croix.
La grosse croix.
Show.
Presque.
Des grands cheveux longs, mais genre gros front.
Il y a un monde, mais le monde il commence ici.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Thank you, John.
Thorne. I take the map and I slowly walk.
Are you actively looking at the map?
He's
You're
just walking
actively
around.
looking at the map, and like there's a bunch of like buildings that are still like disappearing, and like they're just fading in like the streets, and there's like the street lanes are kind of like just fading into the parchment itself, like faster and faster like as it goes. So like there's less and less buildings remain. Yeah.
I
So
open.
you took the map?
He
No,
took the map.
I took the map and I'm like,
He's looking at the map.
Okay, so I'm just watching and
So you poke the map, and you basically just poke the parchment. That's all.
nothing happens?
Nothing happens.
Okay.
What's your name?
Like it's still actively trying to like it's still actively like
You got
it's
John,
fading into the
Victor,
parchment.
Thorne.
Donc, clairement, il était en train de penser à quelque chose de... Oh, yes. I metro ni Kensi na hawin Tawodi. Come to Tawodi. I am here for my bird. But I am here.
Tony!
Désolé, j'essaie de faire une référence au cinquième élément, mais.
Tony.
C'est le Les livres de la suite qui passent, s'il te plaît.
His name's Tony.
Do you have something shorter?
Yeah, it charges pretty well.
Do you have something shorter?
Better.
Tawodi.
That
Tawodi.
would.
Tawodi.
Tony.
Tony? Tony? Tony.
Better. I'm
Just T.
TG.
Nice.
What?
Might I ask, what is going on?
You just have it.
We're
Moment
still
of
trying to
awkward
figure it
silence.
So, this seems to.
Just to be
Disappear.
clear, you're not going anywhere with the
Do we
map.
have time to. Est-ce qu'on a un temps limité pour voir ça ou ça s'évade jusqu'à notre location là?
We should probably write whatever's just at least keep track. Cause does the map show like a path or something, or?
It initially did, and like as you guys are interacting, like introducing each other, like to one another, like the path itself is kind of like fitting into the parchment, and like it's becoming less and less visible. And as you are actively looking at the map, like buildings are like disappearing more and more until like there's just that one building that remains. And you saw like all the buildings like disappear and like all the streets disappear, and then there's just that one building that remains, and right under it is written the Broken Dagger Inn.
Broken Dagger Inn.
And we are going to wrap it up here tonight.